Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, I think freedom of speech is one of the most misunderstood of the rights guaranteed in the Constitution. Sometimes that misunderstanding is deliberate. What the First Amendment essentially says is that you can express your views, no matter what they might be, and the government cannot silence you. There are exceptions: libel, slander, advocating the violent overthrow of the government. But aside from that, if you dissent, you're perfectly free to express that. Or should be, at least according to the Constitution. And it doesn't matter how repugnant those views are, or how stupid they are. It doesn't matter how against the government you might be or for the government you might be. You have the right to express your views, and the government has no right to stop you. But the First Amendment does not guarantee that there will be no consequences. It simply says the consequences will not come from the government. So, for example, if you express your opinion and your employer decides to fire you, that's the employer's right. If your employer decides that associating with you is bad for the company's image or may result in a decrease in their business, in their income, they have every right to let you go. This is not an infringement of your First Amendment rights. Only the government can infringe on your First Amendment rights. You still retain the right to express your opinion. You just no longer have the right to work at that job. If you are the owner of a company and you express your opinion, and people decide to boycott your company, again, your First Amendment rights are not being infringed. You still have the right to express your opinion. If you go out of business, that's your problem. And the First Amendment does not guarantee that your views will not be criticized. The essence of the First Amendment is that I have just as much of a right to tell you you're an idiot as you have the right to be one. The First Amendment says nothing about money. A rich person has just as much right to express his opinion as I do. But unlimited campaign spending, well, that looks a little bit more like bribery and intimidation than it does like free speech. And there's no guarantee in the Constitution of anonymity. Matter of fact, the opposite is true. The First Amendment is about public discourse, and it's hard to engage in public discourse anonymously. Anonymity is not banned, but the idea that you can give as much money to a politician as you want, and the only people who are allowed to know about it are you and that politician, well, once again, that's ridiculous. That's not free speech. It's bribery. And finally, the First Amendment does not guarantee you an audience. People have just as much right to tune you out as you have to speak. Thanks for listening.